Welcome back, guys. So today I figured I'd start with another three-part series, this time going over the very specific category of epic, symphonic, blackened deathcore. And that may sound ridiculous, and it is, but this niche subcategory of music is one that I've been extremely obsessed with recently, and I think it's got a really bright future in more mainstream metal, and it already has. So as usual, we have 30 bands here, and since this is so specific, this is actually 30 songs. Not all of these bands fall entirely under this category, so I had to do it by song specifically. My criteria was that it needed to be extremely heavy deathcore at its roots, so heavy breakdowns, deep growls, blast beats, and then the blackened part comes in with a higher pitched screams, tremolo picked guitars, and even more blast beats. And then the symphonic part is the real deal breaker here. It needs to feature choir, strings, or any other instruments that you wouldn't usually consider associated with generic metal music. So it was super easy to find blackened deathcore songs, black metal songs that were symphonic or songs that had all the above, but only featured the symphonic elements in the beginning of the song as an intro. But none of those deserve to make my esteemed list. As always, check the descriptions for the Spotify playlist, the one that you are looking at currently right now. I make one for every video I release, and sometimes I just put out random ones just for funsies, so go ahead and check that out. The first one that we should probably go ahead and get out of the way, actually, I'm not going to start at the beginning. I'm going to start, where did I put them? Here we are. We're going to start with Lorna Shore. So ever since Will Ramos joined the band and his vocals have just skyrocketed their popularity, I've seen a lot of these bands get kind of the trickle-down effect from that popularity. They are not the first band to do this style at all, but they get the most attention from normies, and that's not always a bad thing. So this is the exact sound that I'm talking about here, the over-the-top crazy vocals with crazy breakdowns, and there's always orchestral elements adding icing to the cake in the background. So yeah, if you like Lorna Shore, you're probably going to enjoy a lot of the lesser known bands in this series, so just go ahead and stick around. And next up we have Wake In Providence, who actually used to have Will Ramos in it, coincidentally. Blast beats I was talking about. So yes, that is Wake In Providence. I thought that was a good intro song to the whole playlist. And then next up we're going to have a song by Make Them Suffer. This is called Threads. And it's a really beautiful song because it just has this constant piano that travels through the entire thing, and it really enhances it like 100%. So these guys usually lean in a much different direction than the rest of the songs on this list, but I thought this one specifically fits nicely into this particular flavor of music. So as you can tell there, they lean more into the kind of death side of things. There's not as much black metal there. There's not really a blackened aspect to it. But yeah, I think it really kind of fits in with the rest of the stuff that's going on here. And then next up is a band that has taken a lot of my attention for the past 2 years. When they released Ritual Hymns in 2022, I was really enamored with how crazy the vocal work is, the drumming, and how well they blend the orchestral elements into every single song. I genuinely believe that if they could keep all of the members consistent for a few years, that they are going to blow up more than they've already achieved thus far. And so this is Worm Shepherd. So I just love this intro, like the choirs coming in and everything. I think it's really beautiful, and the way it transitions into his scream is just crazy. That just gets me every time. Like they do that so well, and all their songs are like that. So definitely go check them out if you're into this whole subgenre. And then next is Synestia, which is a two-man group, and they were slowly releasing these songs for their collaboration with Disembodied Tyrant, which you probably all have heard at this point. And so I thought I'd kind of include this as a double whammy because it includes both of them. Also, Disembodied Tyrant released what they called a single, which was, it was 3 songs, and these are all really good as well. So yeah, it's called The Tower Part 1, so if you want to go check that out as well. But I thought I'd include this EP specifically because it's just absolutely bonkers insane, as you guys know from the absolute millions of reaction videos that have plagued the internet since each release. But you've probably heard these songs a million times. I had to include it because, come on, they're just wild. The crazy violins, the fast-paced insanity, the over-the-top vocals. It's just great stuff. The breakdown in the song is crazy. Let's skip to it. So yeah, you get what's going on here. Just insanity, just everything's cranked to 11, and it's amazing. You're getting exactly what you want from this. And then next, I think a good one to mention is Fleshgod Apocalypse, because they've been doing this for quite some time, and they do a really good job with it. It's like very classy sounding. I don't know how else to describe it, but they would have been a lot of metal fans' first picks for this list simply because of how iconic we all know their orchestral arrangements are. The orchestral versions of each song will stand on their own 2 feet. Like, they released a orchestral version of King, I believe. Yeah, orchestral version. And they all stand completely on their own 2 feet. Like, if you just showed this to anyone who's a fan of, like, orchestra music, they would absolutely love it and not even realize it belonged to, like, a, death metal group. I would say that these guys don't usually fall under that core classification, but they check every other box perfectly. Yeah, so as you can hear, like, all the instrumentation is just amazing. Like, you heard that piano going through, you heard the choir, you heard all the orchestra, and it's just really good. And yeah, all the vocals are usually that, like, deeper sound to them, so definitely check them out if you haven't heard of them already. So I would say next is Viscera. They are a little bit different, especially in terms of the vocal work, but this has all of the blast beats, choirs, and a massive chorus that will just send chills down your spine. So yeah, pretty great stuff there. Definitely check them out as well. So I actually had my Spotify Discover Weekly playlist present to me a banger that was this specific song, and it was partly what inspired me to make this series in the first place. So this intro is exactly what I've been looking for when it comes to this tiny subgenre, and the choir just has this like beautiful intensity that most metal just can't do for me. They're a Russian band with a smaller following than they deserve. This is Deliverance. So yeah, the vocals are just so intense. Like there's just so much going on here with everything. And it's amazing. It's like exactly what I'm looking for when it comes to this subgenre. Next, we have Immortal Disfigurement. They're just one of those bands that you will always come to when you're listening to this type of stuff, and that's for good reason. So as you can tell, a lot of these bands are kind of incestuous. For example, the vocalist for this band is C.J. McCreary, who came from Lorna Shore and Signs of the Swarm, and the guitarist is from the aforementioned Wake In Providence. There are plenty of insane breakdowns and moments for the vocalist to show off the crazy noises he can make. It's really great. That's about as epic as you can want anything to be. It's just really awesome to listen to. We are ending on a really good one here. I feel like I'm always talking about Mental Cruelty, but I think they've done really like so well with this new vocalist, and it feels as though they're becoming a little more mature in their work. Their most recent album from 2023 is an amazing listen from start to finish. And as they say in their description on Spotify, it really feels like they're trying to bring the more blackened elements in, and genuinely they're changing the game. I love this chorus as well. So yeah, that is it for episode 1. I think a lot of people think this genre, at least from what I've seen on the internet, but then again, it's metal, so, you know, you're going to get that. A lot of people think it's silly, a lot of people think it's corny, and they might be right, but personally, I love it. I think the crazier metal we can get, the better, and the more fun I'm going to have, personally. It truly feels emotional and complex to me. I feel that a lot of symphonic metal can get a little cheesy, but this is making strings and choirs kind of cool again, and I'm always down for that. So I'll see you guys next time.